Vale, creo que está. Vamos a comprobarlo. Creo que está. Vamos a comprobarlo. Vale, voy a bajar volumen de mi micro. Creo que está. Así, así creo que está bien. Vale, pues vamos allá. Empezamos. What remains of Edith Finch. Bueno, ayer ya empecé el
A lot of
juego.
this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning with the house.
Vale, ayer empecé el juego y estuve ahí probándolo tal y me gustó bastante. Entonces decidí, pues bueno, ¿por qué no subir algo distinto al canal, no? Entonces voy a empezar de nuevo y bueno, lo haré en
I lived here
directo
until I was
todo.
11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
Lo haré todo en directo y la verdad no tiene límite. Es hasta que me aburra un poquito, la verdad.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
Hey.
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
Yo lo que jugué, la verdad, que me ha gustado mucho, la verdad. Yo no soy mucho de estos juegos
In her
y
will,
estuvo
my
muy
mother left
entretenido.
me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know, or she thought the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Vale, ayer ya fui por allá abajo y no había nada, así que voy a ir directamente por este camino.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
Pues mira, eso no lo había visto ayer, creo. Ay, no, mira. Pues mira algo nuevo. ¿Y puedo irme por aquí con él?
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to. The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
Es que la casa, la verdad, que tira un poco para atrás, ¿eh?
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words.
Yo creo que la palabra es bastante obvia, ¿no?
Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Oh, bueno, como para no tenerla.
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't.
Abrimos.
Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
Es un juego que recomiendo y eso que no me lo he pasado. Bueno, esta parte voy a ser un poco más lanzado y tal, porque bueno, ya sé cómo va.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
estoy viendo porque hay...
The power had been turned off the night we left.
Hay muchas cosas así
For the first time in
para
years,
darle.
I felt like I was home. But instead of a family, there were just memories of one. Like how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
No, si ahí el gato podía seguir viviendo, la verdad, ¿eh?
Or how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot.
Vale. Voy a hacer el mismo recorrido que ayer, porque estuve mirando todas las cosillas.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left.
Vale.
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
Es como que tienes que... No te permite parar el juego. Estás
Nothing in the
continuamente
house
ahí
looked
a tope.
abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
Estaba viendo si el volumen del juego estaba bien o no, pero sí, está bien. Así que vamos a seguir.
Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank. Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house. Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
Creo que no había nada que es la cocina, sí.
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
Así que vamos descubriendo un poco
A lot of
el
things got left behind
parentesco.
in the whirlwind of that last night. Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
Tengo unas ganas de entrar en esta librería, no sé por qué. Pienso que va a haber algo. No sé, y creo que había un cuadro o algo para mirar.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Flipa, ¿eh? Ya me dirás tú. 1950,
My Grandpa Sam
1941.
spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
Madre mía, compartir habitación con tu hermano muerto.
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
Casi amigo mía.
The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
A tope. Bueno, sigo este orden porque ya me lo sé.
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
Vale.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
Pero aquí no me va a dar que... Pero supongo que no. Madre mía, qué ruido.
Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him. Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of. From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind that door.
Habitación. Oh, Dios mío.
Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead. I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
Epa, la cámara.
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the doors.
Ahí está. No, hasta no.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat. The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it. My Halloween candy was all gone. Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
Me mandan a mí a la cama sin cenar y bueno, vamos, les monto un pollo.
I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
Es que vais a flipar.
I kept eating and eating. I ate a lot of things that night.
Acordaos de este retrete.
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat.
No tiene sentido ninguno.
tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared. Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
Porque están muertos, niña.
I jumped and I almost got her.
Aquí, pájaro.
I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up.
Language.
Suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits.
Ahí dónde está.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger. A mama rabbit. She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly,
Atentos.
I was a shark. I rolled off the cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever. I wanted fat, juicy seals. I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
¿Dónde está?
Grabbed on tight. When I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened
Esta
my
cámara lo
eyes,
odio.
everything had changed. Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere. I was big, but I moved real quiet.
Es surrealista esto.
wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
Qué asco.
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And to cross the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe. I got closer and closer.
Por favor, con la serpentina.
All of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to be, and we both know I will be delicious.
¿Qué os ha parecido? A mí me pareció surrealista esto ayer cuando lo vi. Estaba flipando.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edith would have.
Y este es el árbol, y cada vez que vayamos viendo la historia de uno de los personajes, va a ir dibujando, dibujándolo encima del nombre. Ayer conseguí, creo que fueron 4 o así. A ver hoy hasta dónde podemos llegar. No, pero espera, no sé. Vale, no, creo que no podía mirar nada más.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room.
Por esto mirad los detalles, Mira, los pájaros muertos aquí. Yo tenía periquitos, la verdad. What the fuck? Pero Rob, esto sí que no me había fijado ayer, Y estos también, todos azules y amarillos. Y uno verde, creo.
Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him.
Bueno, vamos que eres un poquito artista. La que me queda más chula. Lewis Milton Gregory. Yo no me había fijado tanto en estas cosas, ¿eh? La Bárbara Molly.
Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind.
Se han llevado la casa.
But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea.
Madre mía. Es que muy seguro no parece, ¿no?
Odin's daughter Edith, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery.
Esto va a ser otro bastante.
His daughter Edith is
tenebroso.
already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Sí, ahí está.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Tenemos a Molly, a Odín y nosotros. Edith. Lo que estamos aquí vamos a terminar.
Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious. I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time. One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity.
Y mira, lo demás, ¿eh? Ardiendo, ¿sabes? Como para no irse de ahí. Mira, ahí está.
Edie told
1937.
people Sven was killed by a dragon. She could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
Es que madre mía.
Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Que no me acuerdo si tenía que ver algo.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
Sí, la verdad, un poquito sí, ¿no?
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Mola mucho estas cosas, por lo menos a mí me mola mucho.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
No, sabemos que no, Lo de fotos que hay. Mira qué guapo. pasó a Milton. Fijaos la pedazo de habitación,
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin, and that he never talked about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
Sí, la verdad, a mí más cuando son historias así, porque ya veréis.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
Aquí lo que mola es que, mira, puedo darle una pierna a la otra. Ay, perdón, por el bostezo. Pero
My
vamos a
brother said
hacerlo bien.
he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam, Calvin, dinner's ready. Coming.
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him
Creo
going
que os
around was
imagináis, ¿no?
impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that,
Calvin, I'm not gonna send you again.
maybe if the wind hadn't picked up, then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother.
Ahí está.
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Sí, bueno, la próxima vez habría que ver cómo es el final, ¿no? Del juego, no aterrizar. Porque madre mía. Directo a las
Calvin's story
rocas.
felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Perdonad un momento, tengo que responder aquí a un mensajito. Vale, no era demasiado importante. ¿Cuánto llevamos de directo? Media hora, vale. A las 11 me voy a cenar y después sigo.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room. Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Joder, no me acordaba. allá vamos.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Aquí tenemos que venir después, no ahora. Milton. Aquí tenemos a la
Growing
famosa
up,
Bárbara.
I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
No, la verdad que va a ser una niñita pedazo de habitación, ¿no?
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Buah, es verdad.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
No me voy a callar.
Oh, Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
Que la música no ayuda mucho, ¿eh?
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
Toma. Puedes pegar a todo, ¿eh?
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
Da un poquito mal rollete, ¿no?
just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Me encanta que podemos seguir pegando las cosas.
Walter vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
No, not. She played her part beautifully. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges grow. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
Era un poco obvio, ¿no?
The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was... At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real
poquito... dando el
Edie told me
rollete.
all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Vale. A seguir.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box. Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara. Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left. Edie's father, Odin, built the original house. It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
Estoy bastante callado, pero... Porque vamos, no se calla la boca, está hablando todo el rato, ¿vale? Bueno, todas estas cosas obviamente las vamos haciendo nosotros con el joystick. Por aquí creo que no había nada.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
No sé, la verdad, está un poquito guarrete toda esta cosilla. Ah, mira, esta debió de ser a lo mejor la sierra en la que se jodió el padre la mano. Por lo siento
I
que
saw
está pasando
Edie
un
sneak
avión.
down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that. I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could.
Lo más lejos posible.
If there's a pattern in all these stories,
Porque mira, todo lo que tiene.
I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
España. Creo que no había nada. Esto no quiero abrirlo. Porque no sé si... Si al abrirlo ya va, bueno, pasar una cosa directamente o no. Entonces vamos a ver esto.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years.
30 años.
On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive the week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave. Well, I still can. I know it's out there, somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara. And Molly. And Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left, or a month, or a single week. I'd be happy with one more day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Vaya el trenecito, ¿eh?
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
2005.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me. Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe two, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else.
Es duro, ¿eh?
But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real. I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of. Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
Bueno, por ahí yo no voy a investigar porque ya miré allí ni nada.
Look at the house. Had that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness. Any of it seems possible. I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house? It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Thurpi, lurpi, furpi. Churpi, burpi, durpi, durpi, joiner.
Sven built the house, but it was Edith who designed the cemetery.
Cada uno con su... Bueno, algo que le representa, ¿no?
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide. Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Hostia, esa es la vieja casa. Madre mía, es que es para flipar.
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better. She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
Eso es como para perder a alguien más de la familia, ¿no?
There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
Mira que molan las cabañas de la ruta.
But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Ta-ta-chan.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common.
Yo no empiezo a esperar, ¿no?
They were both pretty intense.
Vale, pues mira, vamos a dejar aquí la primera parte. Y después seguimos hasta, bueno, no sé, hasta que me aburra, digamos. Así que, cosa de 20 minutos, media horita, estoy aquí otra vez. Adiós.